Well, it's a campaign we've been running for months now, demanding pothole-free roads across India's cities. Bad roads have claimed another life in the national capital. 45-year-old Praveen Kumar was mowed down by a water tanker after he lost control of his vehicle and tripped over a pothole. Fatal accidents involving potholes and manholes have claimed over 10,000 lives across our cities. My colleague Deepa Rana visited the pothole that claimed Praveen Kumar's life, and she tells us how civic apathy was the primary cause.
I'm standing at the very spot where a man lost his life 2 days ago while returning back home after his bike allegedly got stuck in this pothole and he lost balance and was run over by a water tanker. Now this particular pothole has been filled now by the authorities. It's very near to a mall nearby, and as you see there is a busy road which leads to areas like Mahipalpur as well as Chhatarpur and Mehroli. Therefore this road is always a busy road. But the question is that the Delhi government has done a press conference and has blamed the Delhi's traffic police for not allowing work on this particular road. But the bigger question is why this particular pothole, a visible danger, was left open and was not addressed in time by the authorities, and why now that the Delhi government has blamed it on the traffic police. There is also a bigger question as to till when will the citizens keep on risking their lives as the authorities keep on blaming each other. This is Deepa Rana reporting from Basant Kunj in New Delhi.
Deepa Rana also caught up with Praveen's family members who are inconsolable, and they blame the government for their loss.
मेरे साथ तो जो हादसा हुआ तो किसी के साथ न हो। अगर मेरा लड़का गड्ढे में भी गिर जाता तो बच जाता, पर पीछे से टैंकर ने उसको कुचल डाला। कल मैं अपने लड़के का सूरत भी नहीं देखी, गटरी में बांध करके आया था। हाँ, इतना बड़ा हादसा होने के बाद देखो सरकार को सुनवाई तो करनी चाहिए, इन दोनों का मुंह देखना चाहिए। कौन करेगा? इनका सहारा कुछ नहीं है।
सारे पेपरों में आ रहे हैं, सब जगह छप रहे हैं, सब कुछ हो रहा है। सरकार कहती है पुलिस जिम्मेवार है, पुलिस कहती है सरकार जिम्मेवार है। अभी तक उस बच्चे कोई रिलीफ तक देने के लिए कोई नहीं आया। ये तो पुलिस उस पर थाप रही है, वो उसको थाप रहे हैं, दोनों पर आपस में ही लड़ रहे हैं। और अब यहाँ पर कोई अभी तक अधिकारी आया नहीं। अगर कोई मिनिस्टर के घर के हुआ होता तो आज तक पता नहीं कितनी तुरंत रिलीफ पहुँच गई होती। साधारण घर के आदमी का हुआ, गुजर गया एक्सीडेंट से, जिसमें जिम्मेवारी सरकार की बनती है। टैंकर वाले ने लापरवाही की है, उसने चढ़ा दी है उसके ऊपर, तो जिम्मेवारी तो उनका काम है।
मेरे बच्चों की फीस है, खर्चे हैं, ये सब, इन सब के खर्चे दिए जाएं सारे। और ये हमें जो ये सास ससुर हैं, नंदे हैं, इन सब का खर्चा मेरे पति ही करते थे, और उसका भी वो किया जाए। चाहे तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब लग जाए तो 15-20 लाख हर महीने अब फिलहाल तो चाहिए। बच्चों की फीस है स्कूल में, अब कहाँ से मैं फीस वगैरह दूंगी।
While the family is yet to come to terms with their loss, both personal, emotional and financial, the political blame game in Delhi has already begun. The Aam Aadmi Party's Satyendra Jain, the Minister of PWD, Transport and Urban Development, said the traffic police was not letting them repair the potholes. Listen in.
यही मेरा कहना है कि कभी भी परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं होती है। पीडब्ल्यूडी की सड़कें पीडब्ल्यूडी खुद रिपेयर कर सकता है, परंतु ट्रैफिक पुलिस ने, दिल्ली पुलिस ने उनकी गाड़ियां जब्त की, उनको काम नहीं करने दिया। तभी उन्होंने मजबूर होकर 8 जुलाई, 14 जुलाई और 21 जुलाई को पुलिस को, डीसीपी को लेटर लिखे कि आप इंटरवीन कीजिएगा। जो लोकल टीआई है उसने उनको बिल्कुल काम नहीं करने दिया, तो उसने इंटरवीन करने के लिए लिखा है। तो यही तो कहना है कि
क्या कारण था आखिर गाड़ियां जब्त करने की?
हो सकता है पैसे चाहते हो वो लोग, उनका तो धंधा है लोगों से पैसे मांगना।
सरकारी गाड़ियां हैं सरकारी।
सर वो किसी से भी मांग सकते हैं ना, आपको नहीं पता, आप जाके देखिए क्या करते हैं।
जो अब तमाम, अगर देखिए मान के चले दिल्ली पुलिस और दिल्ली सरकार, इन दोनों के आरोप प्रत्यारोप में एक आदमी।
सर एक बात देखिएगा, लेटर लिखे गए 8 जुलाई को, 14 जुलाई को, 21 जुलाई को, तो उन्होंने उस टाइम में इंटरवीन क्यों नहीं किया? हमने ये कहा परमिशन नहीं मांगी थी, हमने कहा कि आपके लोग तंग कर रहे हैं, काम नहीं करने दे रहे हैं। स्पेसिफिकली लिखा था कि आपके लोग काम करने से मना कर रहे हैं, उन गाड़ियां जब्त कर रहे हैं, और 21 जुलाई के लेटर के अंदर 2 गाड़ियां जब्त करने का हवाला दिया गया।
जो परिवार है जिसके घर से एक मौत हुई है, वो कह रहा है कि कुछ उन्हें कंपनसेशन दिया जाए।
देखिएगा, इसके बारे में पता करते हैं क्या सिस्टम है।
सरकारी लापरवाही का मामला है, क्या सरकार कंपनसेशन के बारे में विचार करेगी?
विचार करेंगे, और साथ साथ मैंने कहा जांच बैठा दी गई है, जिसकी भी गलती होगी उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई भी की जाए।
Well, the opposition wasn't too far behind. The Congress jumped into the fray and asked people to send pothole photographs. Congress President has squarely blamed the Aam Aadmi Party and not the centre for the monsoon mess in Delhi.
मैं इतना कह सकता हूं कि कांग्रेस के शासन के दौरान इस प्रकार से इतनी बड़ी तादाद के अंदर कभी भी जल भराव नहीं हुआ और इतनी बड़ी तादाद में पॉटहोल्स नहीं कभी भी हुए। पॉटहोल्स यहां पर दिल्ली के अंदर मरम्मत की अगर बात करें, जो गड्ढे हो गए हैं तो उनके गड्ढों की मरम्मत भी अभी तक नहीं करी जा पा रही है। और हमने कल देखा कि किस प्रकार से दिल्ली सरकार और ट्रैफिक पुलिस आपस में एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे हैं और दोनों के दोनों एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे हैं और दिल्ली की जनता उन गड्ढों में गिर रही है और अपनी मौत, अपनी जान को जोखिम में डाले हुए है। लेकिन दिल्ली दोनों सरकारों को आपस में लड़ने से कोई फुर्सत नहीं।
Magicbricks Now has consistently been campaigning against the poor quality of the roads in our cities. The killer pothole story is not restricted to Delhi. The monsoon have exposed the urban mess across all of our mega cities. In Bangalore, craters in the road measuring over 4 meters, endangering commuters, have become commonplace this monsoon. Pooja Prasanna sends us this report from Bangalore.
Civic authority that is really non-existent, an MLA who is absent, corporators who don't pick phones, who don't give out their phone numbers. That seems to be the condition here in Commercial Street and Kamraj Road, which is really the heart of Central Business District. This is one of the busiest shopping areas in Bengaluru, and despite several complaints, nothing has changed here on the ground. Not just the Chief Minister, but his entire cabinet has time and again, after each accident, come out and made promises, deadline after deadline, that has been missed by the state government to make sure that the city's roads are pothole free. But clearly, more than actually living up to their promise, it looks like their shoddy work of patching up potholes is only giving rise to more and more problems for citizens here in Bengaluru.
Appalling state of affairs across all of our cities. Meanwhile, the country's richest corporation doesn't have solutions for potholes either. And I'm talking about Mumbai. In fact, the 352 crore rupee road scam seems to have put Mumbai's dream of a pothole-free monsoon this year completely to death. While people suffer, the state and the BMC continue to pass the buck for the shoddy condition of our roads. In fact, the BMC, which is responsible, I'll remind you, for 90% of Mumbai's roads, has already extended its self-set deadline of making the city pothole-free at least 4 times. Listen to this ground report from Mumbai.
I am standing here in Patil, which is in South Mumbai, and as you can see behind me, one of the arterial roads in this area has a lot of potholes. In fact, it is riddled with potholes, as you can see on your screen. Well, according to the data that we gathered from the Mumbai Municipal Corporation, they told us that the last we got in touch with them, which was around 28th or 29th of July, the number of potholes yet to be filled was 144, and when we checked with them today, that number has come down to 140, which is still a substantial number. The reason they gave us as to why there is such a big number is that they said they're facing difficulties due to the heavy rains that have been going on in the city since the past 2 days. So they can't really go and fill the potholes on the roads while it is raining. With this, they also told us that the area that has seen the most potholes are Kolaba, which is in southern Mumbai, also Patil, where I'm standing right now, also in southern Mumbai. They also pointed out Kurla and Sion, which come in the central suburbs, as well as a couple of western suburbs as well. So here's hoping that the Mumbai Municipal Corporation does fill up some of these potholes before the Mumbai monsoon ends.
So it's both actually. I won't blame totally government. Government is also there, but people also should make sure when they do the roads, potholes, whatever, people should make sure not should drive their cars or not should go with their bikes on the same places.
खड्डे बारिश है अभी, उन लोगों को देखना मांगता है क्या है क्या नहीं, तो फिर उसके बाद उन लोग कुछ ना इशू कर देना मांगते हैं कि आगे क्या प्रोसेस है. इतना एक्सीडेंट हो रहा है इधर, एक्सीडेंट तो कितना हो रहा है इधर, बहुत एक्सीडेंट हो रहे हैं. हम लोग के बाइक के खड्डे कितने जा रहे हैं, बाइक की वाट हो रही है सब कुछ. एक्चुअली तो उन लोगों को बीएमसी वाले को ही देना मांगते हैं कंप्लेंट.
रास्ते के खड्डे में बहुत कचरा है, उससे ना बीमारी फैलती है और पानी भी बहुत गंदा है, उससे स्मेल आता है.
बीएमसी और कॉन्ट्रैक्शन वाले को, क्योंकि बीएमसी वाले कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में ही सब दे देते हैं ना, इसके लिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वाले उल्लू बना के भी बीएमसी वाले को जाते हैं और बराबर काम नहीं करते. मेन बात ये है, आधा खड्डा बनाते आधा छोड़ के भागते. ऐसा बना बनेला सब अंदर जा रहे, कोई ऊपर है, कोई अंदर है। इतना पानी उधर जमा है, उसमें कीड़े मकोड़े तो रहेंगे, मच्छर तो आएंगे, डेंगू तो होगा। आज साफ सफाई नहीं रहेगी तो डेंगू तो होने वाला है।
कुछ नहीं, रास्ते का यही हाल है हमेशा, कोई इधर देखता नहीं है, जो चल रहा है चलने देने का है। अभी किसका गलती बताने का, पब्लिक का बताने का कि नेता लोग का बताने, जो काम करने का वो करते नहीं वो लोग।
On the urban debate tonight, we ask how many more people have to die before the authorities wake up and take responsibility for the mess on our roads. This is a campaign we have been running for months in preparation for the monsoon. Now the monsoon is halfway through and people are having to lose their lives. There is no one willing to take note. And remember, this is a problem across all of our cities. It's the problem in Delhi, it's a problem in Mumbai, in Pune and in Bengaluru. If you live in any of these cities and you're facing these problems, pick up the phone and call us. Our phone number is at the bottom of your screen. We are not going to rest until we get accountability and results from our governments and make sure that they, in some way or the other, come forward, take ownership of what's happening on the roads, stop the political blame game, stop blaming each other and passing the buck, and actually solve these problems. We're no longer just talking about being delayed or long traffic jams or exhaustion. We're talking about people losing their lives. Join us on Twitter, #KillerPotholes. In the studio with me tonight, Girish Patil, former Executive Engineer, Roads Department of the BMC. He's our technical voice. He understands how these things are done and how they should be done ideally. Vijender Gupta, the leader of the opposition in the Delhi Assembly, representing the BJP, will join us through the course of the conversation. Abhishek Dutt, spokesperson of the Congress in Delhi. And Naushad, a citizen and a relative of someone who lost their lives. I want to thank all of you for joining me on the show. I want to thank our audience. Get involved, pick up your phone and call us. Naushad ji, आप पहले बताइए, आपके साथ, आपके फैमिली के साथ क्या हुआ था? Naushad? All right, we seem to have a weak link there. I don't think Naushad can hear us. I'm going to go to Abhishek Dutt. Abhishek, we've heard story after story coming out of the national capital of the appalling state of affairs right now. People losing their lives. We're no longer talking about traffic jams. We're talking about lives. Why is it that in our national capital, lives are so cheap?
Criminal act of negligence and corruption by the PWD in Delhi. If you look at the history, never in the last 10-15 years, we've noticed things like this in Delhi ever. The desilting of drains in all the PWD roads are supposed to be finished by the 15th of June every year. In March, the whole process is initiated and it has to be completed by the 15th of June because that is the time when we anticipate pre-monsoon showers. But if you look at the PWD website, it has not been updated after 5th July. And as of now, on 5th July, only 30% of desilting has been done. So whenever desilting will not be done and there are monsoon showers, obviously water will collect on the roads. That will eventually lead with potholes and more instances like this. First of all, my deepest condolences with the family of Naushad. We sympathize with him and I hope Delhi government learns from this and in future there are no such accidents.
On the show, like I do so repeatedly, the Aam Aadmi Party Delhi government has refused to be part of this conversation. They have refused to be part of any conversation involving civic amenities in Delhi repeatedly, in spite of the fact that we keep getting in touch with them every time we have one of these conversations. Abhishek, we just heard the PWD Minister Satyendra Jain talk about the fact that the Delhi police or the traffic police did not allow the work to happen, and that's the cause for this incident and for this great tragedy. What's your response to that? Is it passing the buck? Why would the traffic police stop the PWD from doing their work?
See, this is the first time when I'm actually hearing this. The fight between Delhi police and Aam Aadmi Party is not new to Delhi. And this is what is actually happening in Delhi. They both are passing the buck onto each other and the city is suffering. Even if you remember, few months back, there was a death in Uttam Nagar when due to sewage problem a building had collapsed. Even at that time the same blame game happened. They don't understand from the past. Every second day the chief minister is blaming the Delhi police is blaming the chief minister, the MLAs are getting arrested and this is what Delhi is suffering today.
Well, it is obviously a mess that's happening in Delhi. I understand Naushad's link is back again. Naushad ji, अगर मेरी आवाज़ आप तक आ रही है, आप बताइए आपके परिवार के साथ क्या हुआ, आपकी एक्सपीरियंस बताइए हमें।
मैडम, मैं जो है ना रानीबाग शकूरपुर में रहता हूँ।
जी।
हेलो
जी बोलिए।
मैडम, ये PWD का नाला था जिसमें मेरा बच्चा गिर गया था। मेरे बच्चे की डेथ हो गई उसमें गिर के। और उसमें जो है पहले उद्घाट से पहले 3 महीने पहले गाय का बछड़ा भी गिर गया था। तो इसकी शिकायत भी की थी। तो PWD की तरफ से कोई मतलब उसको गटर को ढकने के लिए कोई नहीं आया वहां से। और जो है फिर 2 महीने बाद मेरा बच्चा भी गिर गया मैडम उसमें।
और नौशाद जी, हादसा होने के बाद क्या आपने PWD को कांटेक्ट किया? उनका क्या रिस्पांस आया उनसे?
मैडम 18 दिन बाद हम PWD मंत्री सतेंद्र जैन जी से मिलने सचिवालय गए थे। और सचिवालय में उन्होंने आश्वासन दिया था कि अभी 1 घंटे के अंदर फाइल आ रही है, मैं 2 बंदों को सस्पेंड कर दूंगा। इसमें 2 महीने तक कोई सस्पेंड नहीं हुआ, कुछ नहीं हुआ, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई उनकी तरफ से, कोई फोन कॉल नहीं आया। फिर हमने नजीब चंद गवर्नर साहब जी के पास गए थे, तो उन्होंने इसमें जो है ना 1 आदमी सस्पेंड कराया। गवर्नर साहब से मिले थे LG हाउस, तो उन्होंने आदेश किए थे इसमें कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। 2-2.5 महीने बाद 1 आदमी सस्पेंड हुआ है जय अभी तक।
और नौशाद जी ये बताइए, मुझे ये आपके कहानी सुन के बहुत अफसोस हो रही है। माई कंडोलेंसेस टू यू। आप ये बताइए, आपने दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट से बात की, आपने सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से बात की, 1 आदमी के सस्पेंड करने से क्या होगा?
कुछ नहीं होगा।
क्या ये काफी है?
नहीं मैडम, ये काफी नहीं है। अब ये इतने बड़े हादसे हो रहे हैं, कोई सुनवाई नहीं हो रही किसी की। अब केजरीवाल जी कहते हैं गरीबों की मदद करता हूं मैं। आम आदमी पार्टी है, आम आदमी पार्टी क्या आम आदमी की मदद कर रहे हैं? कोई मदद नहीं कर रहे, किसी तरह की कोई सुनवाई नहीं है।
The affairs in Delhi are indeed appalling. We're getting repeated complaints about the Aam Aadmi Party, the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party refuses to communicate with the media or with the victims of incidents like this. Abhishek Dutt, we don't even know where to start in this particular case. A young child who's lost his life to an open drain, the Delhi government refusing to even take any sort of responsibility for an incident like this. How are the citizens of Delhi going to continue to trust a government in this manner?
See, if you look at the past in Delhi, whatever promises Aam Aadmi Party had made in Delhi, actually they've gone ahead and they've destroyed all their promises. Even if you look at the composition of the government, out of the 33 departments, 18 departments are handled by 2 ministers. And all the other ministers are hardly doing any work. So if you have a minister handling 9 departments, a chief minister who's got no department, how do you think the government will work? The chief minister today is more busy about what's happening in Goa. The chief minister is busy about what's happening in Punjab. He's tweeting about Gujarat. If you look at the background, earlier the chief minister was very vocal towards each and every incident in Delhi. But at this point of time, his whole focus is towards other state. The entire fund that is being used by Manish Sisodia and his company for advertisement campaign, even if 10% was used for these potholes, such instances can be avoided. They are more concerned about publicity, they are more concerned about giving full page ads, but where grassroots level work is concerned, I think this government has badly failed, and I hope people in other states don't make this mistake what they've done in Delhi. The 70-point agenda or the 70-point false document that they had presented to the state of Delhi, they have gone ahead and each and every point that they had promised, they have not worked on anything. They talked about mechanical sweeping. I want to ask through your channel, Kejriwal ji, how many mechanical sweeping is happening in Delhi? We go out every day, we don't see anything happening at the grassroots level. Every day your MLAs are involved in some crime or the other, and then you challenge the court, then at the same time you criticize the system. They are beating up ladies in their office, they are beating up their wives, and the city is in a bad state.
Abhishek Dutt, while I agree that Delhi is in a bad state, and that is the Aam Aadmi government party, Let's take a look at Bangalore. There was a visual on our screen just now. There are 1,900 potholes on the roads of Bangalore, some measuring 4 meters from end to end. There are several people in Bangalore who travel on two-wheelers for whom potholes are a death trap. The Bangalore government is run by the Congress party.
Absolutely.
So let's accept, at least to begin with, Abhishek, that it's not one party or the other. Somehow all of our governments are failing.
See, where potholes are concerned, if you look at the background in Delhi, when Congress was in power in 15 years, never ever you had seen instances like this happening in Delhi. I still remember the then Chief Minister used to call for a meeting with all the concerned development officers.
If you're telling me that the Congress government can fix the problem in Delhi, why can't they fix the problem in Bangalore?
I think whether it is Bangalore, whether it is Gurugram, whether it is any state, they need to learn on how basic management needs to be done. They need to understand the problem. Desilting should happen on time. All the concerned agencies, civic agencies should get together and address this issue.
All the civic agencies should address this issue. Girish Patil used to work with the BMC. He's the technical voice on this panel right now. Girish, tell me this. Why is it that none of our cities can manage to stay on top of the problem of open drains, like Naushad was telling us, will cost him the life of his child, and open potholes that are currently claiming lives of citizens? What is wrong with our cities' basic machinery that we are not able to solve these basic problems?
See, pothole issue is a very serious issue, and time and again it has taken toll of many people, and it's a very serious issue. It needs to be tackled on a very priority basis, and it should not be neglected by the government. The government should form a policy which should be uniformly followed in the nation, entire nation, not across one state or across one municipality.
But aren't the problems different for each state? So people from Mumbai will turn around and say that it rains such a lot in Mumbai. So Mumbai needs a different quality of roads than does Bangalore or Pune?
See, the quality of roads is different from pothole. See, when we say the potholes are formed everywhere, it's not that the potholes are only formed in Delhi, it's not that the potholes are formed only in Mumbai. They are formed everywhere. So there should be a uniform policy for tackling this pothole menace. I think it's not a very big science. What it needs is only a few steps of procedure. First is to locate the pothole. Second is to repair the pothole immediately. And the third is to use very good material and workmanship to repair the pothole so that it does not occur again.
Well, if the problem is just find the pothole, fix the pothole, use decent material, why are we even having this conversation? That sounds to me, Girish Patil, like complete common sense.
Yes, and it has to be followed. I mean, it should be implemented very strictly. There are systems available.
Girish, what is the solution for open drains?
For open drain?
The fact that, what solution would you offer a citizen like Naushad who's listening right now? Naushad, abhi sun rahe. What solution can we offer these governments to solve the problem of open drains? ये drains को हम बंद कैसे कर सकते हैं?
See, open drains are required because to take away the storm water, these open drains are required. Definitely, where the population thickness is more, it is people use the nearby area for residence or for many activities, and that is what causes trouble for cleaning the open drains also. Now, these open drains, wherever they are covered, I mean they are very vulnerable.
Yes.
They are very vulnerable, and the overflow, it causes problem for cleaning if they are closed.
Okay.
But there should be system which can be, implemented so that the cleaning becomes easy and the drains are closed.
There should be a system implemented to close the drains. There should be a system implemented to fill the potholes. Abhishek Dutt, do we actually need a central government level directive across our cities that tells us find the potholes, fill the potholes, use decent material? Is that what it has come to? Are we lacking basic common sense in all of our cities?
You know, no, I'll tell you something. You know, the basic problem with potholes is if there is no desilting being done, the water gets accumulated. Let's get into the reason why potholes are being created. Whenever it rains, the water needs to flow into the drains and it needs to go into the main drain. At the moment when your drains are choked, whenever it rains, the water gets collected. Automatically when the water gets collected, it ends up with a pothole. Problem is not filling the potholes. Problem is desilting the drain. The water that comes onto the street or comes onto the road has to get into the drain and move out of that place. Even if we repair it today with the best quality, it will end up with a pothole again because the water is not going out. It's basic logic. Desilting has to be done.
All right, basic
And
logic,
if you look at
desilting has to be
Delhi,
done.
in the month of March, the Delhi government came up with the tender. You know, in the month of March, Delhi government had come out with a tender for desilting of drains for all the PWD drains. Even till the month of June, that is when the Congress party did a press conference and we warned the Aam Aadmi Party government, don't repeat your last year's mistake, do desilting of your drains. Even if you go onto the website today, which was last updated on 5th of July, only 30% of desilting has been done. So automatically there would be potholes, automatically there would be open drains with water, and such incidents will only go up.
Well, I'm told Vijender Gupta,
in fact,
yes.
Only desilting of drains is not sufficient to avoid potholes.
Okay, then what needs to be done?
As I said, even after desilting of drains, they get choked because people, they put lot of garbage in the open drains and it overflows. So this is a process which is happening again and again. It cannot stop. Despite even cleaning the open drains, there can be stagnated water because of the heavy rains on the road, and which will definitely lead to formation of potholes. So what is required is the pre-monsoon work. It is coupled with the pre-monsoon work.
Okay.
What is called pre-monsoon work? That means the open drains should be cleaned before the monsoon. The weak spots on the road, they should be tackled before monsoon.
Okay.
These are all pre-monsoon works.
All right. Vijender Gupta joins us on the show right now. Vijender Gupta ji, दिल्ली में जो हादसा हो रहे हैं, लोगों के जाने जा रहे हैं, बच्चों के जाने जा रहे हैं, और आम आदमी पार्टी की गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से हमें कोई रिस्पांस नहीं मिला. ये दिल्ली की अभी क्या हाल हो रही है?
Actually, Faye, it was very unfortunate. In last 2 months, there was 2 deaths just because of the fault of the PWD. And the PWD is outrightly rejecting all the claims. The person who is sitting in my front, Naushad, he lost his son. His son was 10-year-old and he was died. You know, he died, and the open drain, you just hear.
बोलिए गुप्ता जी.
You just देखिए, नौशाद जो है, इनका जो बेटा है वो 10 साल का था, और जो पीडब्ल्यूडी की ड्रेन ओपन थी उसमें कितनी शिल्ट थी कि बच्चा जब गिरा तो उसके बाद ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी के नोटिस में नहीं था, उसके साथ उसका बड़ा भाई था, कजिन 18-year-old, और स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड साइमल्टेनियसली उसको हेल्प करने की कोशिश की गई. और एक ओपन ड्रेन, आप सोच सकते हैं कितना सरप्राइजिंग है कि उसमें बच्चा गिरा 10 साल का और वो उसको बचाया नहीं जा सका, और उसकी डेड बॉडी भी 3 घंटे बाद मिली. और जो डीशिल्टिंग इनकी मार्च में हो जानी चाहिए थी वो इन्होंने मई तक भी नहीं की थी. देन अगेन जो कल हुआ है, इट वॉज सो डिस्गस्टिंग कि जो मिनिस्टर है वो ब्लेम गेम कर रहे हैं, इतने नॉन सीरियस हैं, और उनकी पार्टी के लोग कह रहे हैं टैंकर से टकरा करके डेथ हुई है और पॉट होल का कोई दोष नहीं है। यानी कि क्या पॉट होल्स इस गवर्नमेंट की एसेट्स हैं? तो ये पॉट होल्स को क्यों डिफेंड कर रहे हैं? पॉट होल्स को डिफेंड करने के बजाय पॉट होल्स क्यों हैं? ये पॉट होल्स क्या हैं? ये तो बड़े बड़े गड्ढे हैं रोड पे।
विजेंद्र गुप्ता जी,
इतने हजारों करोड़ रुपया
कहना है कि ट्रैफिक
यहाँ पर
ट्रैफिक पुलिस के जो अफसर है उन्होंने पीडब्ल्यूडी को काम करने नहीं दिया, कि पीडब्ल्यूडी का जो काम चालू था ट्रैफिक पुलिस के अफसरों ने उनका काम
ये इतना मतलब इतना मतलब इट्स ए जोक। ये पूरा एक मजाक है। ये बड़ा जिसको कहते हैं ना कि ये बहुत ही क्रूर मजाक है लोगों के साथ। जो अथॉरिटी होती है रोड की वो कंप्लीट अथॉरिटी होती है। वो उसकी स्कैवेंजिंग उसका काम है, उसकी सफाई उसका काम है, उसकी स्ट्रीट लाइट उसका काम है, रोड बनाने का उसका काम है, रोड मेकिंग। अगर वहाँ पर सीवेज वाले भी काम करेंगे उस रोड पर तो पुलिस से परमिशन नहीं लेते, वो पीडब्ल्यूडी से परमिशन लेंगे। पीडब्ल्यूडी को किसकी परमिशन लेनी है? अगर रोड खराब होगी तो इमरजेंसी जाकर उसको रिपेयर करेंगे, पुलिस का कोई रोल नहीं है। यही मैं कहता हूँ ये नॉन सीरियसनेस है, क्योंकि रोड बनाना, रोड को मेंटेन करना, रोड को साफ करना, रोड की स्ट्रीट लाइट, ये सब उसकी अगर ट्रैफिक पुलिस को उस रोड पर कुछ करना तो पीडब्ल्यूडी से परमिशन लेनी पड़ेगी। उल्टा है, किसी भी और अथॉरिटी को उस रोड पर कुछ करना है तो पीडब्ल्यूडी से परमिशन लेनी पड़ेगी।
तो सत्येंद्र जैन का जो
तो
कहना
पुलिस से पीडब्ल्यूडी को परमिशन रोड को ठीक करने के लिए नहीं है
थी, वो गलत है आप बोल रहे हैं?
ऐसा कभी वो गलत ही नहीं है, वो 100% झूठ है, इररिस्पॉन्सिबल स्टेटमेंट है।
Lieutenant Colonel Vishnuvardhan is on the phone line from Secunderabad.
पूरे देश में
एक मिनट विजेंद्र गुप्ता जी, Lieutenant Colonel Vishnuvardhan is on the phone line from Secunderabad. उनको बात करनी है हमसे. Go ahead.
We keep seeing so many of these programs, how government money, which is basically public taxpayers' money, being spent not just for the salaries of all these employees, they keep getting pensions also for the last 70 years. We are governing worse than the Britishers were doing a very good job. And now what we have, our people keep visiting these Western countries, I don't know for what, but even casual visitors who have been to the eastern part of US, the gradient is less than 5 meters. And how beautifully the systems are run. If our people have not learned, our students can teach all these so-called staff of various agencies. What I'm trying to say is, Modi ji's concept of minimum governance can take a idea. We could probably disband most of these permanent employees who are a big drain on the national economy. That is 1% of government staff. For their pay perks, we are spending 70% of taxpayers' money.
All right, Girish Patil is a retired government employee. Girish Patil, would you respond to that? The fact that there are too many agencies managing too many roads, and we should actually reduce the number of people managing our cities and actually make it more efficient? Reduce the number of government employees?
No, it cannot be reduced government employees. But what I will suggest is, as I have said earlier, the policy for pothole repairs, that should be uniform. I mean, it should be implemented in proper manner and with the system. Like there are systems available which are GIS based.
So you're saying it should no longer be left to the various corporations, the various state governments, the central government should take control?
Too many agencies, what you said,
yes,
that is causing the mess, because everybody tries to put it on other and the pothole remains there only without tackling. So therefore, and the thing is that there should be uniformity in repair of potholes. The system should be same. It should be same.
The potholes are a huge problem in all of our cities, in Delhi, in Bangalore, in Pune, in Mumbai, in Gurgaon, in Hyderabad. Somehow, as a country, Our local bodies have completely failed us. They are unable to get on top of this very basic problem. And like I said, we're no longer discussing traffic jams. We're no longer discussing an inconvenience. We're discussing people's lives. People are losing their lives to potholes. 2 days ago, a person lost his life to a pothole in Delhi. This is a problem that's happening across the country. On the show with me today, Girish Patil, former executive engineer of the Roads Department of the BMC, Vijender Gupta, leader of opposition in the Delhi Assembly, Abhishek Dutt, spokesperson of the Congress in Delhi, Naushad, who joins us in Delhi, who lost his 10-year-old son to an open drain in the city, and Demetrius Pius, he's the business marketing manager who's here because of a special case. He's been on the show in the past. He helped and saved 2 people who fell and were injured in Ghatkopar in Mumbai because of potholes. Demetrius, thank you for joining us on the show. I want to illustrate to our audience that this is not something that's happening in any particular city. It's not a specific problem in any city. And we must remember, when we're talking about the cities in hand right now, when we talk about Delhi is being managed by the Aam Aadmi Party, Bangalore is being managed by the Congress Party, Mumbai is being managed by the BJP and the Sena. So this is a problem that cuts across party lines. It's not about this party or that party. We've all just gotten it wrong. How bad was that situation when you had to stop your car and help the person who had gotten injured because of a pothole?
It was pretty bad. My car was right behind her car. So that day, either I would have been the good Samaritan who saved her, or I would have been the guy who killed her, right?
What happened on the road?
So we were traveling down the Sion Panvel highway, the 1,000 crore, expanded highway. I don't know where all that money went. Obviously those people are not familiar. Only if you're familiar with the road can you drive it safe. Otherwise, be ready to break some bones, right? So they hit the pothole really hard. The girl who was pregnant just, flew off the bike and landed right in front of my car. Because I was lucky, I slammed the brakes hard, picked her up, took her to the hospital. Apathy didn't end over there. I had to pay 20,000 to admit an accident victim. You go back to that road today and it's in the same condition. At some point, we Indians used to always say, the officials will not do anything until a life is lost. But, we are way beyond that. Now, until multiple lives are lost, lots of lives are lost, they are not going to do anything. Because look...
Demetrius, the last time you were on this show, and I must point out the fact that you have told the story on this show in the past. You've told the story on various publications and newspapers. We had a Shiv Sena representative, member of parliament in the studio, who promised to help and promised to fix the problem.
Yeah.
Have either of those things happened?
Well, yeah, he did take my case a little ahead. I had to do some follow-up, of course. He put me in touch with his authorities in, that Navi Mumbai area. He got the hospital to apologize to the media publication, but I'm still to hear from the hospital on getting my money back. Not that I want my money back desperately. I put it to good use. But at least the authorities should have come forward and said, you know what, you spent your money, here's your money, and not even a thank you. I don't even expect a thank you from them. Or they could just told me, we'll take care of this girl.
Have they fixed the problem?
No, they have not fixed the problem. You go to that road today and there are still motorists who are slamming their brakes, trying to avoid that, going left. And, I'm sure people waiting back for, the loved ones to come by that road are praying that they reach home, in at least one piece. It's really a very, very stressful situation. It's not just, the damage to the car, damage to physical damage. It's adding so much of stress for every Mumbaiker, for every Indian's life, as if we did not have enough stress already. People do not look at the stressful
this appalling state of affairs where none of the governments who manage our city seem to be taking this problem seriously enough, and we're going to take it seriously. We've put a lot of pressure on the governments already, but we're not going to stop until we have a solution. We have rains every year, and somehow every year in the month of June, July and August, we wind up having this conversation over and over again across all of our cities. Naushad lost a 10-year-old child to an open drain in Delhi. He received absolutely no response from the Delhi government. Naushad ji, आपने कहा आपको इंसाफ नहीं मिला है और
नहीं मिला।
जो हादसा आपके परिवार के साथ हुआ है ये किसी और के साथ नहीं होनी चाहिए। आपको क्या चाहिए? अगर आप नरेंद्र मोदी जी से बात कर सकते थे अभी, तो आप उनसे क्या मांगते?
मैडम, ये जो हादसे हो रहे हैं, इतने बड़े बड़े हादसे हो रहे हैं, ये नहीं होने चाहिए। अब आज मेरा बच्चा गया, कल किसी और का भी जा सकता है। अब ये इतना बड़ा हादसा हुआ है, परवीन कुमार जी की डेथ हो गई है, जिसमें ये भी PWD की लापरवाही है। देखो, अब बारिश में इतना बड़ा गड्ढा थोड़ा ही हो जाएगा।
बोलिए नौशाद जी।
हाँ जी, ये इतना बड़ा गड्ढा है, ये बारिश से थोड़ा ही गड्ढा हो जाएगा, ये तो पहले से ही गड्ढा है। अगर इसको पहले मरम्मत करी जाती तो इसमें इतना बड़ा हादसा ना होता। एक आदमी की जान चली गई, दो बच्चे के सिर पे से बाप का साया चला गया। छोटी छोटी बच्ची आए, मैंने देखा उनको अभी। ठीक है।
This is what we're dealing with. Families who've lost their breadwinners. Families who've lost young children at the age of 10. What could we ever say or do to make it up to these people? And here we have governments who are still passing the buck. Governments who are still not interested. Governments who are still not taking responsibility for what's going on. And again, I'll tell you, if you watch this show on a regular basis, you will realize that this is a problem across the country. We're getting bad responses in Bangalore, in Pune, in Mumbai, in Delhi. It doesn't seem like any of these governments are taking any accountability for what's going on. Girish, Patil, 3 simple solutions that we can offer the governments of these states to solve the problem. Is this, Girish Patil, a problem right now that requires the attention of either the Prime Minister or the Urban Development Minister of India? Because obviously the state and the city governments are not able to solve the problem.
This is definitely a very serious problem, and every year it occurs. So it should be tackled at the very highest level. May it be a local body, may it be a government, it should be tackled at the very highest level. Because so far we have seen that whatever system, the government system, the employed system, it is not giving very good results. So therefore it needs to be tackled by a very highest level authority, and the political level, that should also be very high. I will not say PM, but definitely Urban Development Minister, they can give directives to the local bodies and the state governments, and they can have a uniform system. By system I mean a technical system, both for IT system as well as the technology for filling the potholes.
विजेंद्र गुप्ता जी, obviously हमारे देश में नॉलेज और टेक्निकल सिस्टम और आईटी सिस्टम की कोई कमी नहीं है। हमारे गवर्नमेंट्स के साथ बजट की तो कमी नहीं है जी। कमी तो फिर किस बात की है? हम ये बार-बार स्मार्ट सिटी के बारे में बात करते हैं। हमारे अर्बन डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर स्मार्ट सिटी के बारे में बात कर रही है। 100 स्मार्ट सिटीज शुरू हो रहे हैं पूरे देश में, जो हमारे ऑलरेडी शहर है, उसको स्मार्ट कब बनाएंगे हम?
देखिए, मैं ये कहूँगा कि ये स्टेट सब्जेक्ट है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स को इस पर कंसंट्रेट करना होगा। और आप स्मार्ट शहरों की बात कर रही हैं, यहाँ तो सड़कें भी 19वीं सदी 18वीं सदी की तरह हैं।
हाँ, लेकिन विजेंद्र गुप्ता जी,
तो
आपने अभी देखा कि हरियाणा की गुड़गांव में क्या हुआ था,
ये तो उनको अपनी टॉप प्रायोरिटी रखनी होगी।
वो भी तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की ही तो बात है, वहाँ पे तो बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट।
मैंने कहा ना कि ये मैं बिल्कुल मैं यही कहूँगा कि ये टोटल स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को इस पर टॉप प्रायोरिटी रखनी चाहिए। अगर आज भी हमारे दिल्ली में 3000 लोग हर साल रोड एक्सीडेंट में मरते हैं, तो ये समझिए कि हमारी सड़कों की क्या पोजीशन है। और जब पॉट होल्स इस तरह से होते हैं और गवर्नमेंट अपना पल्ला झाड़ लेती है, डेथ होती है अपना पल्ला झाड़ लेती है, तो इसका मतलब गवर्नमेंट उससे कोई लेसन नहीं ले रही है, उससे सीख नहीं रही है, वो एक कमिटमेंट के साथ नहीं काम कर रही है। सरकार जो है वो उसको एक कन्विक्शन के साथ नहीं ले रही है। और जब तक पॉलिटिकल विल स्ट्रांग नहीं होगा, ये पॉट होल्स जो है, ये इसमें कोई रॉकेट साइंस की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ये कोई बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट भी नहीं है। अगर आज गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड कर ले एक टेंडर कॉल करना है और सिर्फ पॉट होल्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना है।
विजेंद्र गुप्ता जी, आप ऐसे बात कर रहे हैं जैसे प्रॉब्लम आप गवर्नमेंट के साथ ही है, पर ये तो प्रॉब्लम मुंबई में भी है जहाँ पे बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट है, गुड़गांव में है जहाँ पे बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट है, बैंगलोर में है जहाँ पे कांग्रेस का गवर्नमेंट है। ये किसी पार्टी या किसी भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की सोल्यूशन नहीं, किसी भी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने इस प्रॉब्लम की सोल्यूशन नहीं।
देखिए, मैं तो इतना कह सकता हूं, क्योंकि दिल्ली में रिसेंटली 2 इंसिडेंट हुए हैं, 2 डेथ हुई हैं, और दिल्ली एक इंटैक्ट, एक कॉम्पैक्ट शहर है, एक यही स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है। दिल्ली की किसी एक मेगा सिटी की अपनी गवर्नमेंट नहीं है, दिल्ली की अपनी गवर्नमेंट है। बाकी मुंबई को महाराष्ट्र की सरकार है, गुड़गांव को हरियाणा की सरकार है। तो क्या एक स्टेट जो एक शहर है, क्या उस पर कंसंट्रेट करना एक डिपार्टमेंट का क्या पॉसिबल नहीं है? मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि बाकियों को मैं स्पेयर करूंगा।
क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? फिर क्यों नहीं हो रहा है?
लेकिन जो रिसेंट इंसिडेंट हुए हैं, ये जब मिनिस्टर इस तरह से बोलेंगे कि उसमें ब्लेम गेम करेंगे, पॉलिटिक्स प्ले करेंगे, तो फिर उसको क्या माना जाए?
We have right now Alan Changa from Pune who's called in. Alan, obviously this is a problem that cuts across all of the cities. We know of instances in Pune where people on two-wheelers have been hurt repeatedly because of potholes. What is your response to what you're hearing right now as a citizen?
Madam, the root cause of this problem is kickbacks. The standards are already there in place which show that the quality of the road construction should be something done. But because of kickbacks and because of corruption within the municipal corporations, the roads are made substandard. And they know that that road is going to form a pothole. Why is it that in the army areas of Pune, there are no potholes in the rains? The rains fall in the army areas also. Their roads don't get disturbed. Why is it that only the roads which are under the municipal corporation get disturbed? The families are running this business. The father even is a road contractor with the municipal corporation, son is even road contractor, and grandson even will be the road contractor. That road they will only get the tenders for. No one else will bid for those tenders.
मैं अभी करता हूँ कोई लाइव चैनल.
Pardon me?
Go ahead, Alan. We're listening. Go ahead.
Okay. The tenders are given at a lower cost, and then there are kickbacks. So that person will use substandard material. All these political parties and their corporators are well aware of this fact that by taking corruption money and kickbacks from them, they are providing substandard facilities to the people. The only solution to this is that there should be a court order from some Bombay High Court or from the Supreme Court giving them an order that if there is an accident, then immediately the contractor is blacklisted, the corporator of that area is asked to pay, or the corporation is asked to pay.
Actually, Alan, while that's a fair point, I think it should be taken a step further. We're talking about suspending people and blacklisting people. On one hand, people are losing their lives. We should be talking about people going to jail, people being prosecuted for this problem. If there is a 10-year-old boy who has lost his life in Delhi because of an open drain, someone should go to jail. Suspending one officer, which is what has happened in reaction to that problem, is not enough. If someone is going to fall down and hurt themselves or someone's going to die, I demand a trial. I demand someone be arrested. I demand someone go to jail. Demetrius, shouldn't someone have been sent to jail for that woman who got hurt on the roads in Mumbai?
Of course, everybody from the top to the bottom, should have gone to jail. Look, corruption is one thing, but we are paying with our lives. If that is not enough to move these incompetent, bureaucrats, politicians, what else do you want us to do? Do you want us to come out and slit our wrists and tell, please fill this pothole? What do you want us to do? Really, like it's multi-pronged issue. It's one is a matter no one looks at, but they are just incompetent bureaucrats. They just do not know what good quality roads are.
Abhishek Dutt, in Bangalore, when a similar incident and a young person lost their life due to a pothole on a two-wheeler in Bangalore, the minister of Bangalore responded saying people who ride two-wheelers should be more careful. Is this the kind of responses that we can hope for from our governments?
Like I told you, let's not talk about any particular city or state.
You were just talking about Delhi when it was not your Congress government.
I was hearing the statement. Yes, because I quoted an example during Delhi when there were no potholes. And I was surprised when the ministers blamed the whole thing onto the Delhi police or the traffic police. I think suspending one JE is not an answer to this. Why can't the minister be sacked? Why can't the minister be sacked lying on a national TV saying that it is a problem of Delhi traffic police?
Same question, Abhishek Dutt. Why can't the Congress minister in Bangalore who said people should be more careful on the road be sacked? And he's the minister of Bangalore. He has resigned at this point, but we should demand the same sort of justice across the country.
See,
would you accept that the justice should be the same across the country?
Whether it is Haryana, whether it is Delhi, see, justice has to be same across the country, whether it is Haryana, whether it is Pune, whether it is Delhi, whether it is Bangalore. But the fact is, the minister is lying blatantly on TV, blaming it onto the Delhi police, when at that time Delhi police had got no role to play. This shows how careless the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi is. Why do you have a chief minister like Kejriwal, who's more concerned about this Vipassana at this time and not sit in the city?
No.
Demetrius?
Look, let's
he should be here sitting along with his minister and working on a plan.
You know what? The politicians and the bureaucrats should just come and say, you know what, we can't do it. We give up. We blame each other. Citizens, please take over the roles. Listen, this is just like stock footage now where one party blames the other. Aam Aadmi says we are a small city. Other one says the central government is someone else. Take the example of Mumbai. The union government is run by the BJP. The state government is run by the BJP. The civic body is run by the BJP. What is your reason for coordination issues? Why do you still have coordination issues? Really, these guys are just incompetent. They need to give up and say, you know what, citizens, take over the road and take care of it. And I know citizen activists who can do a much better job filling up roads in their area than the BMC can ever do in the next 10, 15, 20, 100 years.
Well, this is true across the country, that there is no lack of funds in any of our cities. All of our cities are well funded right now. There's no lack of intelligence or of method in the country. We have the smartest engineers and the best IT people in the whole world who function out of India. We lack political will, and we lack political will in all of our cities. Corruption at every level is now costing us lives, and as cities and citizens, we can no longer take this lying down. Let's no longer put up with it. Let's no longer do jugaad and find a better road to go home on. Let's get onto the streets tomorrow and demand justice. Demand that there be prosecutions. Demand that politicians and bureaucrats who fail us repeatedly go to jail. This is just not enough. I call on the citizens of Delhi, of Bangalore, of Pune, of Mumbai to come out onto the streets and demand that the people who put us in this position be put behind bars. Enough is enough. Join the campaign, and I promise you that on this channel we'll focus on nothing else but to improve the quality of life in our urban centres. Thank you for watching Magicbricks Now. I'm extremely upset tonight, and this is a feeling we should not let go of. We should push and demand justice until we get it.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magicbricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magicbricks Now.